one of the best things about working in youth preparedness is seeing the fresh new voices and faces that come out of it and move community preparedness ahead in their communities. Today we're going to talk to Wyatt Reed. He's our Region 6 co-chair of the Youth Preparedness Council here. He is also the co-chair of the Arkansas Youth Preparedness Council and the chair or co-chair, I'm not sure which, but of the Greene County Youth Preparedness Council in Paragould, Arkansas. He has several roles and plays them all well. Now we're going to talk to Wyatt and hear how he does it and what impact it has.
I'm FEMA Region 6 Community Preparedness Officer Bill Bischoff, and this is the hashtag R6 Prepares podcast. It shines a light on community preparedness across Arkansas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, New Mexico, Texas, and the 68 tribal nations within. We hope you enjoy the show.
Wyatt, thank you so much for joining us today. If you will, just tell us what positions you hold in the youth preparedness world there in Arkansas.
Yes, sir. As far as Arkansas is concerned, I'm the co-chair of the Greene County Youth Preparedness Council. I'm also the co-chair of the Arkansas Youth Preparedness Council, which is run through the Arkansas Division of Emergency Management.
And so how did you get to those, and what do you do in each of them?
Sure. So in 2016, Arkansas was actually the first state to kind of create this program at the state level. And so that expanded very quickly into the county level. And so I actually kind of just got on here at the county level. They come and talk to us up at school. And so I thought, it sounds like a good idea, something looked good on a scholarship. So that's how I got on the council at the county level.
Absolutely. When they came to talk to you, who is they?
Sure. So it was Gary Reagan from the Arkansas Division of Emergency Management and Eric Wright, who was the county coordinator for Greene County.
Right. Okay. And what did they hit with, and what grabbed you about it?
Well, they just really talked about how this was an open concept idea, how whatever projects we wanted to work on to help our community concerning disaster preparedness with youth and adults both, we could kind of run with whatever we wanted to, and that they would help support whatever ideas we had. So I really liked that idea of it.
Really grassroots. I mean, it puts it to you that we're here for you, but we will support what you have going. And that was the best way it could possibly be brought to you, I would imagine.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm one of those people that I like to have the support I need, but also kind of the freedom to do things how I feel they need to be done. And so we had that, where we had that support, but we also were given some of the freedom to do what we needed to do to get our projects done.
So what were the projects, and can you give me an idea of on both counts, how many folks are involved?
Yeah, so the biggest project that I think we've undertook here in Greene County was the STEP program, which is going into the classroom and teaching disaster preparedness. And as far as the students is involved, probably over the course that we've done this a couple of years, we've probably reached over 200 students, which is really a lot, especially considering the sizes of the schools here. And we had a kind of an orientation day, and we had people from all over that were interested in coming and talking to us, from EMS, fire, police, just everywhere you could think of. Come and talk to us about what it is they do, how they help emergency management, and that really helped you get an idea of, how are we going to reach people.
Super. Now, going back to the student tools for emergency preparedness, what is that, and how difficult was it for you to embrace and take into the schools, and who's it geared towards, if you don't mind?
Yeah, so it was a curriculum that FEMA rolled out with to actually go into the classroom, and it was designed for 4th through 6th graders, and we've worked on it, and we think even younger ages still really do well with it, if not better. Mm-hmm. And so we go into the classroom, and we teach them about hazard mitigation, fires, tornadoes, severe weather, earthquakes, and also some just simple disaster preparedness stuff. The state actually helps us sponsor a disaster kit for them that they can go home, put things in. And so, yeah, we've done a lot of great things with that, and even helped them get their kits off with some sponsors that we've had in the local area. So,
And what's that do? So you go in. What kind of time is spent there? Is it a 10-minute training per class, or is it more time consumption than that? What are you looking at investment wise, time of your time?
Well, for the students, we actually go in there once a week for about 6 to 8 weeks, depending on how you want to set it up. And it's about an hour class maybe. So you're talking 7 hours tops, really. And as far as for us to get the training that we need to go in there, it's really only maybe an hour or two, if that, just kind of supplemental training. So
it's nothing hugely difficult. I mean, it's something that can be learned pretty quickly, and then you're off and running.
Absolutely, and it's especially quick for the benefit that it has. It has a huge benefit with not a lot of time required.
Excellent. Well, and I'm gathering that when you're talking to the classrooms, it doesn't just stay there. Where does it go for them from there?
Sure, absolutely. It's just like any other course that they take in school. We give them a little thing of homework, nothing difficult to do. Really, it's more of a thought-provoking thing, not only for them but also their parents. So they go home, work on that with their parents, and so that's twofold. It's helping the students but also their parents.
That's what I was just thinking. So you're getting truly community preparedness at its finest right there. Grassroots, growing as it needs to grow through the people that need it. Excellent. And that's done not just at Greene County, but you said you're on the state. You co-chair the Arkansas Youth Preparedness Council. Does everyone have that same mission there?
Absolutely. And with emergency preparedness, especially youth, it's like anything. Every county, every city needs to do something just a little bit different. And so we've gotten on there on the Arkansas Youth Preparedness calls, and everybody's doing something with that program, maybe doing it a little bit differently to help their communities. But, yes, absolutely. Everybody's doing something to help their communities with it.
Excellent. Well, and before I ask you, I've known you through Barry Reagan, who you mentioned earlier, and your state youth preparedness council, and due to that, we asked that you co-chair the FEMA Region 6 Youth Preparedness Council, which you've been doing for, I believe, more than a year at this point. Can you tell me what, number one, if you will, just how old are you now, and what is it you do on the Region 6 Youth Preparedness Council?
Yes, sir. I'm the ripe age of 16, so I'm still a young gun at it. But
long in the tooth at 16. Yeah, go ahead.
And as far as at FEMA Region 6, the biggest thing that we heard feedback-wise when I took over was that they said, hey, what we've got going is great, but we want to do something where, it's just kind of us, or where we can really get something accomplished. And so we said, okay, let's work in some smaller groups here. And so that's been what we've looked at this year, is to take the council, break it down a little bit further, and let's work on something together, maybe some smaller groups, and really help. And so we've been helping out everybody in the community that I can think of. We're doing some projects that are focusing on, schools or businesses or things like that, but then also some projects that, hey, everybody in the community can get involved in this.
Excellent. Well, the Region 6 Youth Preparedness Council has been ongoing since 2014, and it's picked up a little bit of steam along the way. Your co-chair is from Choctaw Nation there in Oklahoma. We've got tribal folks on it. We've got Oklahoma, Louisiana, yourself from Arkansas, New Mexico, Texas, and you feel like you're connecting pretty well with everyone across the region and helping prepare communities across, I guess, across all those states. Would that be a good statement?
Absolutely. And, especially at that level, if somebody is taking the time and the effort that it takes to get up to FEMA Region 6's council, then you can tell they're truly interested in it. And yeah, my counterpart, the other co-chair for Region 6, Hannah Gannon, she's doing a great job helping me on things. And, that's what it's all about, is this teamwork. And Region 6 has a great program with that.
You two seem to work very well together. I've had the privilege of working with you as we moved the Region 6 Youth Preparedness Council forward, and it just seems like y'all have taken the reins and are we've seen great leadership in the past, but y'all are taking it to new places by splitting up the council into different subgroups, and I'm anxious to see how that goes.
If you will, share with me what you're doing on the national. Now, you've got a lot of youth preparedness councils you belong to at this point, and you represent Region 6 on the FEMA National Youth Preparedness Council. Tell me how long you've been on it and what you do for that.
Yeah, so this is my first year on that, and you serve a 2-year term. So I've been on it for probably 8 months now, since about July. And we get to travel to D.C. We got to do that in July and talk about what it is we want to do. And this year, really that subgroup idea was taken from a national level. Our subgroup that I was put in this year was financial preparedness.
Mm-hmm.
So it is really an abstract idea. When you think of emergency management, financial preparedness doesn't generally come to the thought a lot of times, but it's very important.
Sure.
And so we've got to actually help FEMA a lot, because that's one of the biggest parts of their mission right now is financial preparedness, especially on the youth end. How are we reaching out to youth on financial preparedness? And it's been great, really, and we've had a lot of help from them, and it's just a great program.
I have a question as far as National Youth Preparedness Programming. Where would you suggest people go for more information on National Youth Preparedness?
Absolutely. Ready.gov has all that information. You could go on there and click around and find the Youth Preparedness Council part on there. There's even an application out now if anyone wanted to apply for it. But you can go through there, read the bios of everybody that's on the council, and read all about us and what we're doing at the local level, why we're on the national council, what we want to get accomplished. So, yeah, you can go to ready.gov, and that'll have all that information on there.
Excellent. Now, if somebody wants to start a local youth preparedness program, whether it be a council or I don't know, if it needs to be a school program, any suggestions for that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like we've been talking about. This is so grassroots that you can't necessarily wait for it to come to you. You're going to have to take a little initiative with it. And so if you wanted to reach out to your local Office of Emergency Management, we've seen that they've 9 times out of 10 been more than willing to help you with that. But if you don't have anything like that, or there's not interest there, start something in your own school. Find a teacher that says, hey, I'll sponsor this program, and start something within your own school. And what we've seen is that over time that will grow, and that growth will force, other places to start growing too. And so that local emergency management office that says, we're not really interested in this, over time they'll say, there's interest in this. Let's go ahead and do this. So.
Super. You've been to the Arkansas Youth Preparedness Camp, which actually I think you've been to 2. If you will, share your experience there. Where have you been? What'd you get out of it?
Yeah, those 2 camps were absolutely fantastic. You get to go through training, CERT training, Community Emergency Response Team. And so what it really is just if some type of disaster happens, how are you going to respond to that? What can you do to help? Even though you're not a first responder, you still need to be able to help. And so what that training allows you to do is go through some medical knowledge and some first responder training. And so it was really cool, especially the camp style, because you weren't in the classroom all day. You got to get out and do some hands-on things. One of the camps one of the best things I can remember is the camp at Arkansas Tech. We got to go to their aquatic center and actually do search and rescue, water search and rescue with their Polk County team, and that was just awesome and really neat to do. It may not be something that you'll ever do, probably not, but it still gives you another perspective as to how emergency response works and things you can be thinking through, and just that idea of taking that knowledge and thinking through things, and also the teamwork, that helps more than anything than just knowing what to do. It really does. And so those camps were awesome.
It seems to me that both in the camp and the council idea, the school programs, all of it together, it just needs someone to say, I want to do this, and to reach out and find the right people to do it with. That's what you're encountering, it sounds like.
Absolutely, yeah. We've had some issues with that. This isn't a perfect program, because there are some people that get on that, hey, don't really want to put forth the initiative and the effort it takes. But by and large, the people that we've got on here say, hey, I want to run and do this. And we say that's exactly what we need with this grassroots project, is somebody to take that initiative. And that's really what it's all about.
Excellent. What am I not asking that I should be asking you, or have we covered it all?
Oh, let me think here. Well, one of the biggest aspects that I would say with the youth councils is the people you're working with. They're not going to sit there and treat you as some teenager. There's a lot more respect that goes into it. And I think that's something that is so misconstrued in our society today is that just because you're a teenager doesn't mean you can't do anything. And with these councils, we've seen people who have jobs who are adults that say, you know what, I'm going to work with you. I want to help you do this. And so I would hope that wouldn't deter anybody from saying, well, I can't do it because that's going to be the reaction, because it's not. People really do want to work with you.
I can, as one of those adults, and trust that I understand that, and I would make the same recommendation to other adults who are interested in sponsoring youth preparedness councils. It is as simple as you find the telephone line or the meeting place and then watch the magic happen. You're there, but the energy comes from the young people who are putting it all together and finding the way to serve their communities. It's as simple as that. The more the adult gets in the way, the more they're in the way. I've got to say that early on with the National Youth Preparedness Council, I talked to a young person back in 2012 who said, we hear from teachers and preachers and our parents all the time. We hear enough from adults. If we're dedicated enough to come together and discuss community preparedness, let us chart our own path. Let us find our own way, and you just help us with it. And so at least at FEMA Region 6, that's been our way with the Region 6 Youth Preparedness Council. And I believe, having talked recently with Gary Reagan, who has had the great success with you and others in Arkansas, that's the secret to his success as well. And I think the future is looking great with what you've got going.
Absolutely. And one more thing I'll add to that, if I can, is that with these programs, you may be thinking, well, I don't know anything about youth preparedness. I don't know anything about preparedness in general. That's 100% okay. Really, what these councils allow you to do more than anything is take whatever you're interested in and turn it into something with youth preparedness. If you're wanting to go into the military, fire, EMS, if you're wanting to be a teacher, no matter what you're wanting to do, we've got a program out there that you can help us with. And so it's not one of those things that you say, I'm an aspiring emergency manager, that's what I want to do. Well, you don't have to be that. Whatever you're wanting to do in life, we've got a program out there within the Youth Preparedness Councils that you can help us with, that we need your help with, something that you really want to do. We have that for you.
Well put. Wyatt, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. Thank you for your dedication, your commitment, and your leadership. We appreciate everything you're doing for FEMA Region 6. And I know Gary Reagan and Arkansas Division of Emergency Management are thankful for the good work you do there. And I know as well, talking to Eric Wright, he's thankful for the work you're doing at Greene County. So thank you very much for everything you do, sir.
Absolutely. It's my honor.
Thank you for listening to the hashtag R6 Prepares podcast. Check us out anytime on Twitter at hashtag R6 Prepares, or follow us on the YouTube channel, hashtag R6 Prepares. Thank you to Lee Baker for his production. See you next time.